Hello boys and girls, I'm Mr. D'Annunzio, your PE teacher. Today we are going to, I'm doing this video about a week before our lesson. It's a beautiful day outside, a little bit cooler out, and a little overcast, so it's a perfect day to be doing this. The last few weeks we've been working on soccer. The third week, right after 2 weeks of soccer, we are doing a makeup week where you catch up on all your material that you need to for PE, and then we're going to be doing 2 weeks of football. All right, I'm big into football just like a lot of you are. Again, football is a team sport, so we're going to do the best that we can to make this fun for you. What we're going to do today, we're going to start off with a warm-up led by myself. I think next week we might do a YouTube video of maybe a dance or something else, just kind of break things up a little bit. I know you love seeing me for warm-ups, but I also know sometimes you like seeing someone else do warm-ups as well. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a quick warm-up. All right, what I like to do is I want to start off with just a nice short jog. I'm gonna do a very short jog because I'm in my backyard, but if I were you, I want you to go on like a 2 to 3 minute jog just to kind of warm up your muscles. All right, right now I'm just gonna do maybe like a 10-second jog, but just to give you an idea, okay? So my son's just gonna stand there and videotape. Stand right there. I'll go one more time to make it a little bit more realistic. Stand back. All right, good. And for you, again, I'd like for a 2 to 3 minute jog, and then this way you can come back and we can do some stretching. So we're gonna stretch our legs down to the right. And if you can, you wanna touch your knees, touch your toes. I prefer you to touch your toes. Always hold for 10 seconds. And switch, left foot and hold. And switch back to the right. And to the left. And you always want to keep your legs nice and straight when doing these stretches, okay? And center. All right, arms. And my big stretching today is your arms, because you're doing football. You definitely don't want to pull any leg muscles, but you certainly don't want to hurt your arms either. Stretch this way. I hope a lot of you noticed what type of shirt I'm wearing today. It's a Jack Skeleton tippy toes stretch. We're starting to get into my favorite month, which is October, and fall weather. Fall weather is a very fun time of the year for you to get outside and do some exercises and some activities. There should be no excuses about not getting out and participating, and whether it's these activities that I have for you today or just any other activities. So make sure you try to get out. Some kids have been asking me, arm circles, what happens if it rains out? All right. Well, obviously you're not going to be throwing footballs inside. Excuse me. But what you can do, you can definitely do other things, maybe fitness-based. So go on YouTube, do some alternate activities, fitness-based, and then when you can, you get out and you do these types of activities. All right. Today I want to go over another warm-up. It's called the crunch. All right. The last few weeks I went over how to do the correct push-up. We also went over another warm-up called figure eights. So now we're going to do the crunch. So here I am. You're going to lay on your back. All right. Your knees will be bent. All right. Your back on the ground. Now, luckily for me, the ground is nice and damp, so my back is getting extremely wet right now. Never thought about that, boys and girls. All right. Beautiful day, but I didn't inspect every little piece of grass. But anyway, I'm laying down on the ground. My arms are across over my chest. Some people also like to go behind their head. All right, I go over my chest just like this, crossed. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna elevate your shoulders up off the ground and then back down again. Up and down. You don't have to go all the way up, and you certainly don't have to do this. All right, because some people, when they do sit-ups, they cheat and they do it that way. So up and down, up and down. And what I want you to do is do 10 of these. All right, you should feel like a little burn in your abdomen, which is right here where your belly is. All right, then after you do 10, you can stand up, hop back up, and go nice arms behind you. And for me, I always, like I said, with football, you're always using your arms. You're using your hands. So you want to do stretches that help stretch your hands out. Stretch your arms out. Ooh, that feels great. All right, I think I'm good for today. All right, so those are the warm-ups that I want you to do this week. I want to keep it simple and sweet because I want to get into the activity. But starting next week, I might be doing a different alternate activity, kind of get you involved with something different. Since the past month, we've been doing live workouts from Yours Only right here. All right, so I'm gonna come over here. Actually, Ryan, follow me over here. So for this week, as you can see from the board, it's October 15th, or 15th, oh my goodness. October 5th through October 9th. All right, we'll be working on football this week, and again, football will also lead into the following week. All right, the skills that we're gonna teach today is throwing and catching. Those are two different skills. There's throwing, and there's also catching, all right? We're gonna be doing today a lot of different throwing and catching skills, actually 2 to 3 different variations. But the main things we're gonna work on, we're gonna do a skill that involves throwing and catching with a partner from short distance and long distance. If you don't have a partner, you can also do this type of skill with hula hoop or with a household way to make your hula hoop, and I'll go over that. The second thing, we're gonna do a little throwing on the move type drill, all right, where you're going to get to throw and you're gonna get to catch. All right, now here I have a football from school. All right, I have a little softy one. It's like, it looks like a big watermelon ball, but it's a football. I have a little smaller one. These are rubber. All right, a lot of kids, a lot of you probably do not have these types of footballs at home. All right, these footballs are quite expensive, probably $15 to $20 a piece. So they're not things that you have at home, but some of you might have a foam football at home, or you might have a football that's a little bit harder. All right, this is like a rubbery football, but football is mostly made of leather. All right, so it doesn't matter what football it is, as long as it's not an Eagle football. As you can see, I like the Giants. So for those that are out there that like the Giants, that's great for you. Our team's not that good, but we stick by our team. All right, so these are the footballs that you can use. It's up to you. But again, these are the skills that we're gonna work on today. All right, so I'm gonna take the phone now. Ryan, can you go stand by one of the cones? Now my son's out here. I gotta prop the phone up because we gotta make sure we see everything that's going on here. My son does not have shoes on, so it's always important to have shoes on. He's not gonna run inside and get them on now, but just to let you know in the future, all right, he needs to have shoes on. And for all of you, please make sure you have sneakers on when you do these skills. Even flip-flops. Flip-flops are not appropriate footwear. I know a lot of you are at home and you probably think that, oh, it's not PE class because we're at home. You know, I'm not there in your living room or in your backyard watching you do these skills. But if you're outside, you definitely don't want to get hurt or step in a hole and twist an ankle. All right, so it's just something that you want to be aware of. And even me, all right, I got my safety patrol crossing guard shoes on. All right, so I'm going to prop this phone up against this way everyone can see us. You're definitely in the picture. Actually, Ryan, can you go to the other side, please? Over here, actually, purple. All right, so right now, just to show you, boys and girls, I'm holding the football, okay? You're holding the football with your fingers on the laces, all right? Fingers are on the laces, and I want one finger, these two fingers, your pointer and your middle finger towards the end of the football, and your other fingers on the laces. Now, depending on the size of the ball, will depend how many fingers you can put on the laces. If it's a smaller ball, you might be able to put all your fingers on the laces. All right, now for me, I'm a righty, so if you're throwing the football and you're a righty, you're gonna step with your left foot. As I'm gonna move back, you'll step with your left foot, and you'll throw with your right arm. That's how it works. Almost the same as throwing a baseball or a softball. It's the same form. Now my partner, who's barefooted today, will be catching the ball with his hands. All right, a few ways you can catch the ball with your hands. If the ball is high, you put your thumbs together and pointers together and you catch the ball up high. If the ball is low, you put your pinkies together and you catch the football. Now right now I have purple cones set up and I have yellow cones set up. So the first drill is all you're doing is throwing and catching with a partner. Now I'm not trying to rifle the ball and knock him over. That would not be fun to watch on his end. All right, now if you have somebody at home, this is a perfect drill to work on, and it's beautiful out today. So it's a perfect opportunity to get out and work on your throwing and catching. Once you get pretty good, you're gonna move back, and you got a further distance to throw from. And again, you can vary this any way you wanna vary this. For example, a third grader might not be able to throw as far as a fifth grader. Maybe a third grader can throw as far or further than a fifth grader. So you might want to change your cones up any way you can change them up. So this way you can challenge yourself, but you don't want to overdo it or hurt your arm. All right, so always remember safety when you're doing these types of skills. Now, some alternate things. I'm going to come over and get the camera just to make sure it is on. All right, good. It's still going live. Perfect. Ryan, come over here and you need to tape me. An alternate thing that you can do, if you do not have a person or a partner, because some kids have asked me, what do I do if I don't have a person to throw and catch to? And that's a liable question, a very simple question. Hopefully I have an answer for you. What I've done today is I've tied up hula hoops. One hula hoop to the chair, because some people at home, or most people, have patio chairs. And I've attached a hula hoop to the chair. All right, so this way you can throw the ball through the hoop, and I'm hoping it'll hit off the back of the chair and come right back to me. All right, I've also attached a hula hoop to the ladder. Most people have ladders at home, and if you don't, maybe you have something tall, like a fence. All right, so as you can tell, I'm gonna stand over here. My son's gonna tape me just throwing. And again, you can use cones to throw from a distance, or you can start off close and then work your way back. We're gonna test this out just to see if this works. All right, it bounces off. Now I happen to have another football, so I can keep throwing. If you only have one, you're gonna have to vary it. Now this, there it is. Woo! It bounced off all right. So these are just options. You stay there, buddy. There you go. These are just options that you can work on. Now what you could do is you can also turn. Alice, stay over there, babe. Stay over there. No swinging. All right. You can also slide over, so I could slide a little to my left to make a throw. Oh, that was perfect. See how that bounced off? That was what my intentions was for the first time. And then you can also slide over here to the right. So there's a lot of variations. Oh, went right through the chair. All right, a lot of things that you can possibly do. All right. Where did my daughter go? Allie, can you come here? All right. So, hello. Hi, do you have a few minutes or no? Sweet. So guess what? My daughter's here. So she's going to actually tape us doing this fun thing. So you're going to tape us. All right?
Yep.
So here's the phone. We are live. All right. So my son, Allison, you need to go over there. Keep going over there. All right. So, okay. So what we're going to do real fast, we're going to go over the second skill. We're still going to be throwing and catching. All right, but we're going to throw and catch on a move. Now, I hope you have a partner for this. There's no other variation that I could have come up with rather than having someone to throw and catch with. So if you have a partner, a brother or sister, a parent that could do this with you, this would be fantastic. If you don't, you can just repeat the skills that we did over here. All right, but I prefer you to have a partner and have someone to throw and catch with. So my partner here is going to be the receiver. I'm going to be the quarterback. All right, the quarterback's job is to throw it to the receiver. Now, typically you have a center. The center's job is to hike it to the quarterback. Now, unfortunately, my daughter cannot do this and videotape this whole thing in progress. So we're going to have to do the best that we can here. All right, remember, the hiker flips it back to the quarterback. The quarterback then catches the ball and then throws it to the receiver who's running by, hopefully in shoes next time. All right. Now the key word, and I think you might have heard my son say it, was hike. All right. So if the quarterback says bite, you don't want to hike the ball. You have to wait for those specific words. All right. So are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So Allison, back up a little bit because you got to tape not only me, but then you got to tape your brother running. And Ryan, I just want you to kind of like go right in front of the camera there, run by, okay? Ready? Hike. Just like that. And then he's gonna throw it back to me, and then we're gonna switch. And the reason you switch is because a lot of kids will say, well, I like to be quarterback, I like to be receiver. Well, I know you do. All right, I have a preference too. I like being quarterback, and I prefer not to run out and be receiver. But it's nice to try everything out to kind of get an idea for what all these skills are about. I would have loved for you to be hiker as well, because hiker is definitely a challenge. It's not easy to do. All right, so I got to get back, hustle back. Whew. All right, ready?
Hi.
All right. Now again, this is a rubbery football, so it's not easy to do. We'll do it one more time. All right. Go on this side. Switch, switch, switch. Ready, hike. Ooh, pretty good. You're gonna hustle back. Hurry up. What are you gonna do?
Hike.
I could sign up for the Giants this year. They're so bad I could probably be on that team. All right. So listen, this is what these skills are like. Our ground here, I don't know if the camera can show it, but our ground slightly goes downward. So you want to make sure you're on flat ground. I knew this coming into this, but I didn't think we were going to be using our whole backyard. So I hope you learned the skills today. Next week for football, we will be learning punting, and we'll be doing some kickoffs with a tee. And if you don't have a tee, I do have alternate ways for you to do some kickoffs. Also, we're going to be doing some running with the football, so you're going to get to do like a little relay and have some fun with running. So those will be the skills for the following week. Again, this is football. If you don't have a football, my suggestions, because you know, having a bouncy ball or a playground ball, a lot of people might have. A football you might not have at home. Most kids said that they did, but there were some that said that they didn't. So please do the very best. If you don't have a football, ask your brother and sister. Maybe they do have one in the house and you didn't know about it. Maybe a cousin has a football that you could borrow. Maybe a friend or a neighbor might have a football. All right, please try on your end to get yourself a football. All right, it's very important. And I post these videos weekly. The Thursday before, so it allows you the chance to find one. All right, we're not going to be doing tons of sports. Can you get the phone, please? We're not going to be doing tons of sports, all right, that you don't have equipment for. All right, most of them will be sports with the ball. Some will be sports with, you know, that don't involve a ball. Will be like maybe fitness or holiday stations. Those don't require balls. All right, but there might be some that we might have to go with the flow and do our best with the equipment that we have. All right, I hope everyone's having a great time doing their virtual learning. I miss you, and I hope you're all doing well at home. All right, take care. Bye, everybody.